Racing has always been a deadly game, but few drivers embodied its contradictions, quite like Mike Hawthorn, a charming daredevil, a relentless competitor, and a man forever tied to one of the darkest days in motorsport history. Mike Hawthorn was born in 1929 in Yorkshire, England. His father, Leslie, ran the Tourist Trophy Garage, so it wasn't long before Mike swapped toy cars for real ones. By the early 1950s, he was tearing up British circuits with fearless confidence. But it was 1952 that changed everything. His explosive form in Formula 2 turned heads, including one belonging to Enzo Ferrari. A year later, Hawthorn delivered a shock to the world, winning his first Formula 1 race at the 1953 French Grand Prix in a wheel-to-wheel dogfight with the legendary Juan Manuel Fangio. It wasn't just a victory. It was the arrival of Britain's first Formula 1 superstar. Mike Hawthorn didn't just race, he performed. With his trademark bow tie, devil-may-care attitude, and cheeky grin, he became a fan favorite. His rivalry with Stirling Moss defined a golden era. Moss, clinical and precise. Hawthorn, wild and flamboyant. But behind the rivalry, there was respect. When Hawthorn was disqualified from the 1958 Portuguese Grand Prix, it was Moss who came to his defense, a move that would ultimately cost Moss the championship. He pushed Fangio to the limit too, earning the Argentine's admiration and forcing him to fight harder than perhaps anyone else ever had. But Hawthorn's legacy isn't just lined with trophies. It's etched in tragedy. At Le Mans in 1955, he was leading for Jaguar when he pulled into the pits without warning. Lance Macklin swerved to avoid him, right into the path of Pierre Leveg's Mercedes. Leveg's car went airborne. It exploded into the grandstands. Leveg died instantly. Over 80 spectators were killed in the worst disaster in motorsport history. Though Hawthorn was officially cleared of blame, the debate never stopped. Was it a racer's instinct or a fatal misjudgment? In an era where death was as common as champagne, Hawthorn was forced to live with the ghosts of that day. In 1958, Hawthorn achieved what no Brit had before. He became Formula 1 world champion, edging out Stirling Moss by a single point. But it was a hollow victory. That season, his close friend and teammate Peter Collins was killed at the Nürburgring. For Hawthorn, the joy of winning was drowned in sorrow. At just 29, he walked away from the sport, citing its dangers and the heartbreak it brought. He left at the top, but he wouldn't stay there long. On January 22nd, 1959, just months after retiring, Mike Hawthorn was killed in a road accident near Guildford. His Jaguar skidded off a wet bend, struck a tree, and flipped. Rumors swirled. Was he racing Rob Walker's Mercedes at the time? Or did a sudden blackout caused by a known kidney condition lead to the crash? The truth remains uncertain. But what is certain is that British motorsport lost its golden boy far too soon. Mike Hawthorn was Britain's first F1 champion, a showman, a warrior, and a man who raced on the edge of glory and disaster. But for all his charm and talent, his legacy remains shadowed by Le Mans, where speed and tragedy collided in the most devastating way imaginable.
Mike was exciting. There aren't many exciting drivers, and I call them racers because they're real racers, and that's what it's all about.
Join us next time as we dive into the thrilling and often tragic tales of motorsport legends, exploring the stories that defined an era and the drivers who dared to dream.